Nipe changu na mimi nikupe chako, kama unipendi hilo ni pako. We got a lot of issues to settle, pamoja twende mseto. Love me baby, I will love you back. Scratch my back, I will scratch your back. Not this way unapenda upendi. Unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kakupowe, I let you go. Mupano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kakupowe, I let you go. Mupano nunya tuwe forever. Ni yetu, mimi na wewe na watoto wetu. Tupambane shida zote za nyumbani tuzimalize now. Girl, every woman for a man. Love me, I love you, but I not what I want. Girl, it's another tune that me sing over a tune and this one girl. Girl, never worry about it. Every time you come up, I'm gonna sweet it. This one, Bunny Man, I'm music, I'm nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kakupowe, I let you go. Mupano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. Simbiling biling bang bang banang bang I got to go, let you go. I got to go. Unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kakupowe, I let you go. Mupano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kakupowe, I let you go. Mupano nunya pete ya rusini na yo kidole, nilikupenda my baby sorry, utapata mwengine don't you worry. Watoto tumeza tuna wote yale, tulipanga mimi na wewe milele, lakini nini unanichanganya. Maisha wote wawili tulipanga, shida ni nyingi hatujakosana. Haingekuwa hivyo unapenda upendi, mpenzi tuachane na hivyo. Unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kakupowe, I let you go. Mupano unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kakupowe, I let you go. Mupano kinibati unayempenda sana, popote alipo haitweza beli, atakula za mtu anakula zake zipo. Nipe changu na mimi nikupe chako, kama unipendi hilo ni pako. We got a lot of issues to settle, pamoja twende mseto. Love me baby, I will love you back. Scratch my back, I will scratch your back. Not this way unapenda upendi. Unaniumiza sana, ninateseka, nani moyoni mimi nauma. I got to go, kanende, I let you go. Sitaweza nimesubiria sana, utaki change na wana umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, umeshindwa kubadilisha. I got to go, kangukuwe, I let you go, mukwano nonya. Tuliamua tuwe together, mimi na wewe tuwe forever. Ni yetu, mimi na wewe na watoto wetu. Tupambane shida zote za nyumbani tuzimalize now. Girl, every woman for a man. Love me, I love you, back and out what I want. Girl, it's another tune than me sing about a tune and this one, girl. Girl, never worry about it. Every time you come up, I'm gonna sweet it. This man, bunny man, I'm music, I'm gonna need the sun, and the second, and moyoni mimi na umba. I got to go, kangende, I let you go. Sitaweza.
Welcome on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio.com, LPR.
wale pepi kuna inana bala wagi ganama baye jibo basogo zakati ko bala monyo basogo lokuru pe basogo zakati ko bala monyo basogo tumo wana bala tumo wana orope otasingo tumo wana bala wagi tumo wana amoye bobole gaza amada bolile 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 seya gena todo kamuno bao amada bolile 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 angane mbeyo kaliye borusu kuona veriyo oji besayo lokoro borusu kuona veriyo angane mbeyo kaliye borusu kuona veriyo angane mbeyo lokoro borusu kuona veriyo angane mbeyo duro tape makulia kwa ya seba onana aya ma lokoro mane sikuro mwa yepoza ne kripu ya moleu lokoro taliye borusu ku ogere omo ya lokoro kete swalo idoro.
Good evening, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio again. We're here again. We're going to be rocking it all the way. We say thank you for joining us this evening. For a very long time, we have not done any kinds of safety discussion or whatever, but we're going to get there. We're going to get there. All we say to you is be careful. Don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive. And hopefully we will be fine in the name of Jesus. There's nothing hope about it. We say God is in control. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Thank you for giving us this wonderful, wonderful day again this afternoon, folks. It's a wonderful, wonderful program we're going to have for you here this evening. As usual, I want to welcome all of you listening here on LIBERIA Public Radio. We're not here to degrade, to condescend. We don't put people down. We don't step on people. That's why I say that condescending and degrading. I can't even forget it. We don't step on people. Yeah, we're all equal. But anyway, no, on a very serious note, I want to welcome all of you again this evening. There's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. This is LIBERIA Public Radio, where we come in as intellectuals, all of us. Besides me, what did I mean by all of us? Do I look like anybody in your group? No, you guys are the intellectual, and I'm inviting all of you again this evening to come and have a conversation with me here. Hopefully, we'll be able to understand each other, and hopefully, we'll be able to discuss things that will bring pride to all of us. And when we leave the line, the Nigerians see our platform. They say, oh, these are Liberians. They're talking good things. When the Sierra Leoneans and other African nations see our platform and we're discussing about Liberian issues, they don't say, they'll go to the Liberian people again. They should be proud. And I'm asking all of us to come in and have a wonderful, wonderful conversation that we'll be proud to be part of. And if you, for some reason, if the conversation does not suit your taste, let's put it that way, you can politely excuse yourself. That we don't mind, but then leave that with the other folks, to those who want to participate, give them the opportunity to do so as well. And that's what we ask of you. We're not asking you to accept our view, far from it. We ask you to reject our view. We ask you to analyze our view. We ask you to look into exactly what we're talking about. If it suits you, you want to accept it, it's up to you. All we said is that you give us the opportunity to explain ourselves, and hopefully we'll be able to convince you. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. I'm going to be on it again this evening. Mr. So has started a program, LPR, which is to talk about the young people in Morocco, the students in Morocco that are there struggling. And I want to give my own 1 cent, 2 cent, whatever it is into this as well. But what I want to say here this evening, folks, let us don't try to somehow blame. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. Let's find reason to make sure that these kinds of things don't happen. Because most of you young people, sooner or later you will take the helm of Liberia. You will be at the head. And these kinds of stuff, when it comes to you, what do? Those are the things you need to think about. Instead of saying this person did, that person did. It's my job to do that. I can't blame people. My son Nelson Toh, welcome. Nelson, I want you to, I've been playing the music lately. And the reason why you, your brother, and your other little brother now are all into music, I want to believe it is because it's in my gene. Of course, up from the time you were born up to this point, you know I only have one tune on the guitar, and you know that tune, and that's all that I can play. I have nothing else. I don't know music. I have no clue on music. But the gentleman music that I've been playing here lately, Roberto, who haven't been my own brother as well, his father was a musical genius, but he couldn't read, he couldn't write. But he could read music, and he was able to be in charge of the Liberian national band for years and years and years. And his son went into music and was playing music, but of course he got killed. But anyway, this is, if you're thinking, how is it that my pa can't play music and I'm playing these kind of heavy guitar? This is where they come from. It's from Town, that Town water, Nelson Toh, that Town water make you to play music. You and Samson Toh, that Town water, that any other water. Town in Grand country, Grand water. Don't let where American water it will give you music. That Town Grand country water give you music. Samson Toh, folks, I'm running my mouth again. I love it. But son, welcome. I just thought that I'd throw that in there, and just so that you will know, it didn't just fall down like that. This is somewhere back, somehow in the family. So let me just go on with my show. Thank you, Nelson, for coming on. We want to thank all of you again this evening, folks. Let me go on. Mr. So, as I stated, has started something here that is worth every one of our time. But I'm going to take a different route tonight. I will throw in my own experience and things like that as a student, and then in a foreign land, and some of the things you go through, and I'm hoping that my brothers and sisters in Morocco are not facing that. I hope their issues should just be with the money aspect, but that also affect the mind, and I will go into all of that this evening. So just stay with me. But before that, this is Samson Toh's show, Conversation with Samson Toh on Liberian Public Radio, where the intellectual from all over the world come and enjoy themselves. However, I'm going to now show you what we do here on Liberian Public Radio. Folks, here now is, did I say? Okay, yeah, here we go. Here now is our own president, Dr. Weah, who is my president. Let me put down, that's Dr. Weah, the president of the Republic of Liberia. Duly elected. He didn't force his way through. He didn't come in by gun butt. He didn't come in by fighting. He didn't come in by stealing. He didn't come in by bribing. He was elected, duly elected. People went on the poll. People stood in line and decided they want this man to be their president. Who am I? Even, like I said, if I was in Liberia, I was not going to vote for him. But who am I to deny my brothers and sisters that type of right? They have exercises. I must respect that. And therefore, I call him my president. I'm just giving it to you yesterday. Thank you for joining us this evening, Samson Toh, Liberian Public. Okay, now I will show you another video. I'm very excited here this evening because I'm going to be talking about myself too, as from time to time. So I'm very little bit excited. And please excuse me if my enthusiasm is falling all over this place this afternoon, Samson Toh, Liberian Public. I do that. I enjoy myself. But anyway, son, this is what I do every night almost. Make a fool out of myself. But I'm still your father. Don't go look at me. Watch me. Nelson, I bet you're enjoying your dad, huh? Okay. But anyway, let me go on, folks. Samson Toh, Liberian Public Radio. That is Dr. Weir, the President of the Republic of Liberia. Nelson, if you don't know, his name is Dr. George Manon Weir, President of the Republic of Liberia. I believe he's 52 or 53 now. So anyhow, let me just show you another video, folks. Samson told Liberian Public Radio, where Dr. Weir, during the election, Dr. Weir was walking in the mud. He didn't have to do that. And these are some of the things I want people to understand. He didn't have to do that. He could have just stayed right in Monrovia. This election, George Weah was going to win. Whether he ain't wrong campaign or whether he sleep or he ain't doing, George Weah was going to win. Nobody can deny that. But he decided, I'm not just going to sit here. Let me go and experience some of the hardship my brothers and sisters going through. So in case, if God help me, I gain the title, some of the things I'm going to concentrate on. And he decided to focus on the road business. And he decided, in order for me to understand the problem of the road issue here, let me walk the mud of the Republic of Liberia. Folks, this is Dr. Weir in the mud according. Let's watch.
Let's make sure you do that same thing for you can hold. You know what it is. I don't need show the road. You must stay. We're going to junior that before. No, I beg you. Man, the Germans are still waiting for that. I think it's finished. Salome said it's not done.
There you have it. There you have it. Dr. Weir experiencing some of the hardship his brothers and sisters go through every time it rains. And I believe if you've been watching, some of the reason why Dr. Weir continued to focus on bringing relief to his brothers and sisters, these are some of the reasons. Roads, market building, whatever it is, but these are some of the reasons. We want to say thank you, thank him very much. But some of the things also, he also, anyway, that's not my point here tonight. Folks, I'm going to be now focusing on the student issues in Morocco. Folks, but before I do that, let me just say this here. I'm going to be very serious on this, so I will take my time and explain. School is nothing to play about. I wish I have my video when I went to Town last year, where I did some video, and I was literally crying, as I was trying to. I was speaking to the spirit of the building and the spirit of some of the teachers that. I'm not too sure what is this. Okay. So I'm not too sure if you guys are hearing anything, any sound from my end as well. But anyway, that's fine. Who's making that noise? That's okay. Do whatever. But the point here, the point that I'm trying to make here is school is not something you take very lightly. I'm sorry, I don't have the video here, but like I said, when I got to Totan, I took a whole day. I said, I'm going to visit the school. It's a small little rackety school. that I attended, but the professors, the teachers that were there, I gave them so much trouble. So much trouble. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable some of the things that I did. Fighting with knives and all kinds of junk. Okay? Don't want to pay attention to anything. However, not once did they decide to whoop my butt. Not once did they decide to expel me from the school because they have the right. I know my father was going to put up a big fight, but they was going to be in their right to do that. They didn't do it. And so when I went to Town, I decided to visit the school and talk to the principal, the spirit, and all of those teachers that went through. And I was crying, literally crying, as I was talking. I'm sorry, I don't have the video now. I'm going to try to find the video and put it up one of these days. So school is not anything to play with, especially those of us from the countryside. We don't have some of the things the good schools in Montreal have when you go into elementary schools and all the kinds of stuff. And then on top of that, I went to school, and this is, folks, if you like myself, you will understand why is it that Liberians will come to this country and it doesn't take them long to get their degree. Even if they decide to go into a subject matter that is very difficult, not only are they determined to learn, but that's always been with them. There are kids that come from Zwedru. There are kids that come from Vanyama, Bon County, all over the country and come to Monrovia, have no man, no pa, living pretty much by themselves, working in the day, working as a store boy, going to school at night, just so that they can get a high school degree. And then when they finish, some of them will try their best and pass the LU exam and go to LU. So when they all through that time, the laboratory themselves do not, except if you go to, I've never been to how do you call it, the other school, the big shot and went to how do you call it, we used to wear green and white right there by the LU campus over there. I forget the name of the school. But anyway, those are big schools, CWA, the other school, Kateria and all kind of stuff. Those are schools that big boys go to. I never went there, so I don't know whether they have good labs or something. But the point that I'm making, just before I went to places like GW Gibson, okay, you don't have good lab over there. Places like Wilson Memorial High School, nothing. You're on your own. The only thing you do is to read. So when you get here, you say, okay, I want to take on engineering. I want to take on some science program or whatever. There's no lab. You never had those kinds, except at LU. But you were in high school or even elementary school. You can't go to LU to go work in a laboratory or something like that. So when you get here, they put you in physics classes. And he decided to do physics classes. You start to do the traumatic classes and things like where they have the lights, and you have to put the light go up and down in the physics classes. How you measure the length, wave of light. How I'm from Town. What do I know about length wave? All I know, I see the light in the daytime, the light there. At night, I want to study. I put a candle on the light there. What do you want me to measure the light wave for? How I know? But folks, you're forced to learn those things because that's the only way you're gonna go through. And we went through that. I got here. I decided at first I wanted to do criminal justice. But criminal justice was not, it wasn't pushing me to the wall. And I just decided, no, this is not what I want. I want to do engineering. So when I started doing my engineering classes, it was difficult. I never had, quota? I know quota on the road in Montreal, but how do they make them? What are the makeup of the quota? I don't know, but they expect me to know them. The steel building them. How you put the steel together, I have no clue, but they expect me to know them. So I have to study these things. I have to study. Now, imagine now, let's go back and put ourselves. And folks, I'm way ahead of myself here tonight. But so let me go back. Let me do this. Let me do this, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Pub Radio. Okay, this is my program tonight. Yes, Dr. Weir. He's a student in Morocco. He's stranded. I'm not too sure exactly what is happening. But all of the comment that I'm going to be making here tonight, is to ask the Liberian government to please, I'm pleading with the Liberian government. I'm not going to blame anybody who did why. Please, you help these children. It is difficult to go to school, and that's the point that I'm making. This is the point that I'm making. I come from school. Like I said, I have no clue on most of these things. And then the school, they were not going to wait for me because I don't know these things. They're not going to wait for me. Every one of us, the people that just had all the experiences and things, that we're all in the same class, they don't care where you come from. They're teaching you. And when they're ready to teach the diagrams, how to do drawing, what face you have to, they don't care whether you come from Toad Town. They're teaching you. They're going to present those things to you. You go to the computer lab. The computer professor is not going, oh, you're from Total? Okay. We're saying you never had it. You never had anything about computer before? Okay. Come back in 2 weeks. In the meantime, I'll come to your house and be teaching you. No. It comes and open the book. So you page, blah, 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 blah. Tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. That's it. You're done. And then I'm there scratching my head. Why did I put myself in a type of situation? For what reason? Then I will say to myself, I must, because there's nothing else that I want to do than to bring shame to my family. It is this shame to family business that are holding these kids up in Morocco, my people. Some of these kids are so proud of their family. They don't want to disgrace their mom and dad. If you go on Front Page Africa, one of the lady, the mother of one of the sons, she said, I will do everything possible to starve myself to make sure to support my son. Dr. Weir, and those of you that are in charge, please pay the children money. The Moroccan government, according to the story, agreed to pay to teach. You're not paying for the instruction. You're not paying for the instructors. You're only paying where the children is going to stay, where they're going to eat, and shoot in case they get sick. And for us, by the time you leave Liberia, the kind of telemedicine you will take, the malaria pill you will take, by the time you leave Liberia and go to any other country, it's difficult for you to get sick. Because they pill in you so much. Any disease can they run away straight. They say, the other man, all the disease, then they run. Because the kind of medicine that we put in ourselves in Liberia. So as far as children coming from Liberia and getting sick, it's very difficult. Those of you that are here in the diaspora, you can vouch for that. You can say, yes, how many of you lately have gone to the hospital and spent weeks in the hospital? Only when you're getting older. But when you're young, you don't get sick that much. So that's fine. But these children coming from home and they're in Morocco, going to school, they don't have money to buy food. How you expect the children to study? Let me go on to the studying line. That thing by going to say, oh, the person got book medicine. Oh, the person from Lofa Country, they got book medicine. Oh, the person come from Nima Country, they got book medicine. Oh, the person from Lofa Country, they got book. There ain't no book medicine. The children study. You study, you come from the board, the teacher say blah, 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 you write it down, you come home, you repeat, then you test yourself. You do it 2-3 times, you ready. Samson Toe from Toad Town can do calculus. Then who in the world cannot do anything? It's Samson Toe. The man who know nothing, and he can do little calculus. Any of you can do it. However, you must have the willpower. Folks, if you're hungry, you can't do nothing. I don't care how much strength you have. If you're hungry, you can't focus. And you're asking these young people to go over there. They ain't got no man, no power. And Dr. Weir, you yourself, my brother, you yourself, you left your man and power in Liberia and went after the dream. You know what it takes. Even though by the time you got to Hero, you are making money. But when you start from Liberia and went to you went to Cameroon, you are not making that much money. You were eating, but it was not that great. So you know when people are suffering. You yourself, you grew up in the suffering area. So you should know. These children, I beg you that, please, you all put money together and pay the children's school fee and pay the money that is due so they don't kick them out. They're in Morocco. If they can't get money, what you know what they will do to get money? Those are not things that will be, that I don't even want to think about it. God is in control. We'll pray. But I'm saying here again this evening, it is not easy going to school. So let's take Samson 2 again. But for me, when I was going to school, first thing is it, my situation was a little bit different. It's here in America. In America, you can't go hungry. No way. Unless you know how to look for food. Right now, God forbid, if I say I can't get it, then that's from the problem that I used to have when I was in school. Because when my brother called me and said, oh, there's nothing to eat today. They don't have it. But here in America, when I say I don't have it, I can go to Goodwill place and be able to get canned food I will eat. I can say I don't have money right now and walk down the street. Somebody would look at me and say, hey, that person don't belong in the street. They will give me something I will eat. It's not like that in places like Morocco and things. So I'm saying to the government of the Republic of Liberia again tonight, please, you get the children their thing. You can't be dressing zoot up and your children they're crying. Children that they trusted in you to do it. Then everybody over there every night they dress in different suit. Look at the video that Dr. We had today going to do some opening or something. Look how nice all the other people dress. Then on the other hand, they carrying children picture, sleeping on the ground in different countries. And all of those people in those places, Dr. Everybody in the whole world know you. So I know you are a very proud person as well. Please, I'm not saying that you have the money, but you'll find the money. It's not going to cost you millions and millions of dollars. Let's find the money. Let's take care of these children. Let them get their degree and get out of there. Please. Let's go back to Samson 2 again. I will use myself again this evening for whatever it is. So I started my school, but like I said, my situation was a little bit different. I was married with 2 kids, but I was going to school, working as a security guard. Sometimes I used to work as a dishwasher. Okay? So I did all of those things. Okay? Wash dishes at night, go on to school. Or when the classes allow in the day, I make arrangement with my boss. I finish washing the dish, I go to school. I come back, I take on the same problem. They wash dishes. No problem. Or when I used to work security, I work security. At night, one of the things that I used to like about the security job, the dishwashing job was difficult because it was difficult to study. But the security job, I had an assignment where I was assigned to trucks. Oh, yeah. Jesus. God is just wonderful, you know. As a civil engineer, then they sent me as a security guard to go and work in the truss factory. People make trusses. You know, the building trusses where they put wood, they put the zinc over, you made the frame of the building, trusses. So I was there, but I was able to find out how these trusses are made, how to calculate the forces within the trusses, because we were going through the structure part of it. So it was, for me, when I studied, and one of the guys that was doing all the trusses calculation, he gave me a book. So I started I know how to divide the truss and take. I'm not even going to go into that. But that's how God can bless you. But the point here was I was working, not much money, $250 every 2 weeks. Hey, who cares? I take that $250 also. I send money to my mom, my pop, my brother and sister. I don't care. The wife get mad, so what? I got to feed people back home. The point here is this. The children that are in Morocco, they have the determination already. Let the government try and meet them halfway. Pay the children stuff, let them go ahead and finish their program. They will come back. You give them, Dr. Weir, you give them the scholarship. They will come back, and when they come back, they will not come back like this. Look at this other one, folks. This is LU student demonstrating in Monrovia. I think everybody, you have the right to demonstrate, but at what point do you become a student? What is your definition of student? I'm not going to go far into that. They have the right to do whatever they're doing, whatever grievances they have to how to express it, that's fine. But one of the questions that keep coming to mind when I think about LU student demonstrating, how many other students that are being disturbed that perhaps don't want to participate in this type of stuff? They're there to learn. They're there to focus and learn. But if you have a group of people that you're going by your classroom, how much disturbing that does to you? That's a question. But do you want these children that are studying Morocco to come back here and then join something like this? Why can't they be used as a test case, as a winning case, so that when they come home, you go meet them with their degree and you take them to the LU campus? Say, here are the example to folks. We don't just put you here. We're trying also to educate you abroad. And these children that are coming back from abroad, I bet they will have the understanding that they're going to have to contribute before they go to any private practices or what have you. Why can't we get something good out of them? But now you have them sleeping in the street. They're going to go to mom and pa going to borrow to feed them. And when they come back, hopefully they stay there and stay there with determination. Children, you must not give up. I don't care what happened. Don't come running back to Liberia. Don't steal people things. Hungry, if they're going to kill you, let you be buried with people saying, yes, he tried. Don't steal. God will provide. God will make way. You get times. In Monrovia, ask your parents. I know most of your parents are now always rich. They used to eat what they call hard-time brisket, and there's truly a hard-time brisket in Liberia when I was there. 5 cents. You put it in the water and put sugar in it. People go through in Monrovia. It's not funny. You take the biscuit and put it in the water and put sugar in it, and the biscuit soak the sugar water. You eat it and drink your stomach full. But not once did some of us thought about stealing, because that would bring disgrace to the whole family. And I was not about ready to be the one to bring that kind of disgrace in my quarter. Oh, look at Branto's son said he's stealing Monrovia. Me? Something told them or talk to my father like that. I beg you. Hungry, you want to kill me, Monrovia, kill me. I'm not stealing. I want fire, I will fire. I want to who care? You want fire, let go to Busa Quarter with fire. I don't care. You want fire, let go down what I said. But to steal, I will not do it. I used to be a goldsmith. I used to repair watches. Now, what I say, true story. And there are people that can attest to that. I just don't want to call names. Okay? So, my brothers and sisters that are in Morocco, I know it's hard. Things are hard. Things are hard. But please, whatever you guys do, don't take things that do not belong to you. Don't get in trouble. I'll give you another example of myself. When I started school, you know, at a very higher level now, we have the electronic classes where they teach you electronics and stuff like that, but there's calculation, math calculations involved. How to find I call it current coming into, when you get a current from the pole, how much current the house supposed to take, how many people in the house, and how do you distribute the currents and all. They got calculation you go through. But the point is, you can't just do it. You got to get a book. I didn't have a book. No money to buy the book. So the professor, he had a brand new book. He said, okay, I'll let you have the book, but time for the lecture, you let me have my book. After that, the homework, then you take the book for the homework. I said, fine. So you and I have that kind of agreement. Something told from Toad Town. I took the book, put the book in my book bag. We went to eat from McDonald's. A friend of mine bought some McDonald's. I got money. The man bought the McDonald's for me. I care. He bought the McDonald's for me. Bought the drinks. The drinks are on the table. My book bag right by my side. For some reason, we were talking. My hand knocked the drinks over. It went straight into my book bag, into the professor's book. I still have the book here. One of these days, I will show you guys. It's all yellow. I took it back. I said, here's the book. But look what happened. He said, okay, keep it. I will get another book. But when you get your new book, I want my new book back. I said, okay. As God could have it, within about a week, I was able to get a book. I gave his man the new book. So things are not always the way you see them. But you have to determine. When I was at Youngstown State, that was 5-year program. Like I said, I never had engineering background. I never did construction before. I have no clue. But you have to get involved to do survey, to find elevations. Who in total not do elevation before? Before I will know anything about elevation. But I got to learn it. Determination. You have to determine. You can't just sit down as a young person. Because here's the reason. I'll give you another example. You see Sam Jackson. Doctor, we are just criticizing, I think today or yesterday. But Sam Jackson, as old as he is, he's still a smart. Very smart. You can't take that away from him. The people like Dr. Sawyer, Dr. Formula, those people, the mind they got, the education, you can't take it away. That's the only thing nobody can take it. They can beat you, take your clothes off of you, do anything they want to do to you. Unless they kill you, they cannot take that education away from you. Because it's something that you have learned, a sketch, hatch on your brain. It can't get out. That is the only thing you have. And that's why the Freetown man, when you tell Freetown man, oh, I'm taller than you, he said, no, my brother. Let's measure from the shoulder up. If Freetown man tell you, say, let's measure from shoulder up, that means he's somewhere. And that's the kinds of measurement that I looked at. Please, my brothers and sisters, whatever you do in Morocco, don't take people think. I don't care if you're hungry. If you're hungry, beg if you can. But God is in control. I read today that the Minister of Finance and Minister of Education are now trying their best to have this situation resolved. And I respect and I want to commend them for that. Because they themselves have gone through. They're not, these people are not rich people. I don't know them, but I don't believe they were rich growing up. So they understand the difficulty of going to school. Going to school is not easy. And then, let alone having a young man. First thing, my people, the children are suffering. Oh, let me go down their suffering a little bit and see how. Let's test that. The person 18-year-old. At 18, I want to be on the soccer field. At 18, I want to run around with you know what. At 18, I want to be here and there with some friends. If I want to throw air ball, let me throw air ball. That's drinking, folks, if you don't know what that is. But here's a young man, 18, no man, no pa. He's there for a specific reason. You know how much he's giving up to stay in our class. Let me just tell you a little bit about Samson Toll that most people don't know. When I came in this country, my school fee was paid completely. And you can't tell me, say, I ate my school fee because I know something now. I went to the school. I said, I don't want to go to school. Y'all give me money. They give me money. I want a buck car. Running around Rhode Island. Ask people that are in Rhode Island that know me, they will tell you. Buck car. Running around playing football. Aha, you didn't know that. So I'm just saying, these young people, they're there going to school. Why we can't put hands together and help these people? Folks, this is a serious business. And education, if you get, and especially the kind of situation that we're facing, if you educate these young people, most likely, not all of them you're going to, it's like going to fishing. You throw your net in there, not all the fish in the water you're going to get, but you will catch some. And if God help you, you will catch a doozy one, a good one. So most of the kids that the Liberian government try to send to school, you're not going to get everybody back, but the one that you will get back will help to move the ball forward. Look at Dr. Kotu, Joseph Kotu. The first, like I told you guys the other day, Samson took the letter, or whatever they have it in the envelope or file. I took it to the Minister of Finance for their money for them to, and Theophilip Sampon, I think it's Sampon, Sampon. They came together here, and there were 4 of them. One of them died from cold here. I don't know the names right, but I know the story. Okay? But they got their education. You can't take that away from them. And so if a government coming in and say, I'm going to help, Once you put your word out there, specifically about education, please keep up with it. Because that's the only thing you can give a man without showing him how without fishing for him. You give him that education, it's going to benefit everybody. So, folks, it's a very short program. Okay? I'm not too sure, Mr. So, when I open the line, please call me and tell me exactly what it is LPR is doing, because I don't want to run ahead of myself here, and I'm not the boss, you're the boss, so let me know. Call me when I send it up, call me and tell me what LPR is doing. In fact, let me just bring my phone so you can call me. Samson told I left my phone over there, so I got to go get it. I'll go across the studio and get my phone. Is that okay with you? Samson, like guy, you're going to fire. What are you going to do? Send me back to total time I forgot my phone? Samson told Public. Folks, I want to thank all of you again tonight. This is a very serious business. We're talking school here, folks. We're talking school. Look at your own life. Look at your own life. Some of us from the village. I mean, literally from the village. Of course, Total is not a village, it's a city. It's a city. You can't call Total no village. It's a city. Big city. How many houses? I'm not telling you, but big city. But anyway, on a very serious note, and you were able to go from the village or from the city, in this case, Vanyama, Zvedru, or whatever, and come to Monrovia. And things were hard. But think about it, folks, and I'm very serious. Those of us that came in the city and didn't have mom and pop, some of us, what was carrying us, what kept us in Monrovia is the shame of not being able to bring shame to the family. It was very important to me. I don't know about you, but it was very important to me that my father don't go out among his friends and they say, oh, and they say your son was, they beat your son in football field because you stole. For what reason? For what reason? Because you hungry? I beg you, God forbid, I will not steal nothing. Nothing. If I want it, I will work for it. I will fight for it. But I'm not going to steal it. Now, if they go to, and that's one of the things my father would say, if they come to me and say something to you, they say you saw in jail for fighting, I come in to release, but if you go in jail for stealing, don't even think I will show up. And that was the agreement. But if you bring fighting to me, Maria, you can beat me. That's fine. If I beat you, it's up to you. If I go to jail because I flock you, it's up to me. That's okay. I'm not worried about it. But for me to take somebody's thing, no. That's why we want these children. And this is not just the kids that are in Morocco. There are some Liberians here that are on scholarship where I know when it's yet he kind of story about Morocco, they themselves worry. And it's difficult to study when you have worrying going on. Samson told Liberia. Let me get my phone and see what Mr. Souls they have to say. Again, Samson told Mr. So, if you're listening, give me a call, please, and tell me exactly what's been happening, what's your view on this here, because you started pushing this thing here, and I think it's a wonderful thing, and that's one of the reasons why I love having you around, because you think outside of the box, Mr. So, and that's one of the good things about you, to bring these things up to light like this, and it's not like it's going to immediately benefit you or whatever, but the fact that children are suffering, and the kind of heart you have, and you decide to make this an issue that we need to discuss. So give me a call, Mr. So. Give me a call and let me know. But anyway, let me go on, folks. Tonight is Friday. Are we? Did I say Friday? Oh, I'm tired. I mean Wednesday, folks. I'm saying but anyway, let me go back. This again. That's Dr. Weah. And the thing about it is being a PhD, Dr. Weah, confirmed PhD, Dr. Weah, and I know I just have this strong feeling that Dr. Weah most likely. Okay, let me take this phone call. Mr. So, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's on your mind, sir? What are we doing? What LPR is doing with this case here? Tell me.
Okay, good evening, Samson, and to your listeners and viewers, both in the USA and every part of the world. Look, I just posted something on the program. The plight of the students in Morocco, a worth given attention. And that was one of the things when we interviewed the leaders the other day, we just don't want to be a discoverer of a problem and not be someone to help in finding solutions to those problems. And that was one of the reasons management, and first of all, I want to say thank you. You as one of my strong, in fact, co-chairman of the board of directors, without no questioning, you all gave the go-ahead to us to do what we are doing. Look, the students in Morocco, these young people, they are the future leaders of our country. We try to stay away with the politics aspect in as much we are focusing on the humanitarian and the intervention aspect of it right now, meaning that we do not have intention to look at the blame game or play the blame game, who was responsible on the whole regime. All of that will come later on, but let us, first of all, be a meaningful help to this process. Students, they are not having food, they are out of water, and stuff like that. So what we have done at the Liberia Public Radio, we have a short-term and long-term goals. And let me just point out here, another major news platform has joined this struggle that I'm talking about, the Boilers Room. The management of the Boilers Room have come out. They will aggressively join us in getting an awareness of this, yet to claim Liberians, not just on the national government, but to claim all of us responsibilities. We do know that this is government responsibility, but what good will it do you and myself, you as a Liberian, me as a Liberian, and to see those young people there, they are having issues and we cannot make an intervention and later on poke the eyes of the government. And so we are launched what we call a humanitarian fund drive, to first of all, to be a helping hand as a support system to those students. Something, it is amazing. If you talk to those young girls and those men, they talk like a real man. And they are so supportive of what is happening. They are so supportive to one another. The girls are worrying about the boys are worrying about the girls to show how concerned they are. So there's a cash app I've just put out there that people can make a donation to Liberia Public Radio because we are working in collaboration with these leaders. They're children, little guys, when you talk to them, it's amazing. They have heads on their shoulders. And it will be unfortunate if our government and we as a Liberians discipline these children by not voluntarily to making a contribution. It won't serve us good. So we are appealing, and I'm impressed with what is happening right now. People are making contributions. That's a short-term goal. And pretty close, almost there are 85 students, I think around maybe 30 or 31 girls and the other one boys. Something I was impressed, someone has come forward and said, you know what, I want to be I want to be the sponsors, to one of the guys. My tithe that I used to pay in the church, I'm going to transition that tithe to invest into this child here. They never asked me where the girl from, which county, which region, or whatever. That was not the case. So it was just a defining moment. God touched that. All of us, somebody can do the same. And we are hoping that people will do that. And as we speak, one of the girls and this person, they are talking right now. It's like a complete family to relationship. So the situation is still ongoing. I will pray government will intervene, for which we invited Senator Oscar Cooper. We are doing everything possible. I have tried to reach the Ministry of Education for them to provide answers. We can't get anybody. We managed to get the Senate Committee on Education, Senator Oscar Cooper, who are able to have him a program, and he submitted some documents that his own advocacy relative to what is going on here. So we are hoping that he promised that right after the July 26th, he will be coming forth. I'm a little bit disappointed because I expect the Ministry of Education, despite our phone calls, our reporters have gone there. Everybody seems to be tight-lipped, but we are still hoping nothing will deter us. That's the challenge. This is what we signed up for. And part of the advocacy is to speak and to give voice to the voiceless. As far as I'm concerned, what I've talked to the young people, there are some that want to be geologists, some that are engineers like yourself. So they're doing medicine and all of that. And they do believe that the memorandum of understanding signed with they and the government should play her part. And from what we are hearing, something the Moroccan government are doing their part. So while the country Liberia government is not playing a part, our understanding their monthly allowance is supposed to be $300. Within that $300 is embedded so many things. They have to pay their rent. Which the new student, my understanding, is $75, the old student $100. You have to pay your transport to go to school. You need to get food, medical. So just imagine. And we are hearing now some of the kids are already kicked out, some of them are being turned off. This is serious. I'm not sure. I just don't understand why somebody not acting, somebody is not addressing this sort of need. And one of the students passed according to our understanding because the child was sick. There was no money. But they preferred to carry the body home than to have made a good judgment by taking out the young man to hospital. That has come and gone. So should we wait again to see another thing to happen? I don't think so. But these are young people in 20s, 20, 18, 21, 22. So the zeal is in there. Imagine you're doing before you even start with your profession, something. They have to do a 6-month course in French. That's just an orientation to settle them.
Wow.
They are in the process of being transitioned to universities and other places. So this is serious. We just beg people. We have never given to a water course before. This is something that you're supposed to give. And if Bola Rome has joined us, we're going to be posting because. And one of the things here is transparency, and that's why we here at Liberia Public Radio, that is our hallmark. Talking to the donors, we will be publishing that. Bola's Room going to collaboratively work with us, names of donors, the amount, because why we want to create that transparency so that the students themselves will know whatever nickel or dime that will be collected, it will be used for the intended purpose. And the good thing about them, I'm having a real maximum cooperation. They are spontaneous in providing me the information. I've asked some of them to give me their parents' number just to authenticate that we are dealing with the rightful people. And they have done that. And we have verified those information. Some of them send their personal school ID card, all because we want to make sure we are dealing with the right people so that we will make an argument to our listeners and viewers. The reason. I just want you to please look into your messenger, Facebook messenger. I'll just send some videos if it is possible while you're on air to shoot those videos. So people will see, so people will hear and see those the students that are involved. Imagine your son or your daughter is in that sort of situation. I believe you will have a sleepless night. And so this is a water cost. The cash app number for the Liberia Public Radio is there. It's 682-433-8802. You even call that phone number just to make sure you want to talk to us. That is great. But we are getting a good reception. And the timeline we have put on this, it started last week Saturday. We're going to continue to the 30th of August, hoping within that time government will be able to make an adjustment. In everything, you must have a timeline. You must have a timeline to work with. That's what we have for now. And so we will continuously engage this process constructively. And I'm happy that's what the students are doing. That I've talked to them and they will show us as well. They will be kind, they will be patient, and they will speak to those issues. But they are disappointed, they are frustrated. We have Sierra Leoneans, Nigerians, Ghanaians. And so if these people, government can send their COVID allowances, why our government cannot do it? I just don't understand. I don't know who to ask that question, who can answer it. But I think we as the Liberians, something we should have our own shared responsibility to help to do the little we can, and then later on we can question our government to know what is going wrong.
Okay, all right, Mr. So, I think we ourselves will do our best here as time goes on to see whatever help we can give through LPR, we will. But I want to thank you very much for the initiative, and then we also want to thank Boiler Room Chief, Mr. Prince Dover, who is the Chief of Boiler Room, for even engaging as well.
Yeah, Prince Dover, Alexander Yalat, President Timothy Collins, all of these people, they have rallied around it. And I'm telling you, any of LPROs who going to make, who will not take this thing here for God's sake, you will be fired and no more you come on air. I'm not talking to you now.
They say when you're talking to the lizard cat, the okra sack can listen you. So must say I listen you. But anyway, thank you. Let me ask you this question. I know during Thomas Collins' administration, LPR was instrumental in putting together a fundraiser for the Grand Judas University or Grand Judas College, Community College gone, their graduation gone. LPR was instrumental in putting it. Is that something that you think perhaps you will try to do here on LPR from when time comes?
Well, look, LPR has engaged in a lot of communities in this year, and that's the good thing about we are not selective in doing for the community. As long as it is genuine, it is authentic, it is verified, we always step forward to render these sort of services to our community. That's why even make us Liberia Public Radio is for all. I remember pretty close to $4,000 we raised. Remember, there were some other Liberians that were incarcerated, were having some medical issues, and we came here, we raised some money for them and all of you. Now is something about Liberia. That's the same thing. We want to raise as many thousands of dollars we can raise. And now we want to call on people to really rally around these children that have gone. People that are in the country, just imagine, there's no help on earth. And imagine you're in country. Imagine what is going through the mind of these parents and all of that. So we are determined to do the best we can, and we want to keep in touch with these children to also encourage them while we constructively engage with the government.
Why don't I put a challenge out there for you as well? You, the CEO of LPR, Mr. Dover, who is the CEO of Boiler Room, is also joining you. Is there a way that you can somehow get around some of the media institution, Facebook media institution, what have you, to see if we can have something here rally around these kids and come up with some sort of a rallying point where folks will try to make contribution and have a whole show on it. But before that, I would like to ask you to see if you and I can do something this coming Saturday. Is there something possible?
Well, let's see what Saturday will bring. Today is what? It's Wednesday.
Right.
But I was on Yasini is one of the advocates. She has her own talking point. We were there yesterday, and there are some people that got in touch. She sent me a message. I'm going to be calling those people who are willing to make a donation. So, I mean, we will try to, we have a well coordinated, and that we will explain to the Liberian people why they should give and why they are giving. And this is why we have gone extra mile to get all of the information, the relevant information, documenting, including pictures and videos and all of that. People want to give to, but bear in mind, there are a lot of things happening in the past. So people, when they think on the sort of flashback, they are kind of a little bit hesitant because people want to give to a genuine cause. But I do believe, from all indications to all of these students, the student leaders, and all of the folks that I've talked to, and then Senator Cooper, the government is aware. So this is a genuine cause. So there's no reason, there is no doubt, and this is why we're going to be, we in Boiler Room, we are in discussion, we're going to be posting donors. That is to create that transparency, and that's what we intend to do, because we want to make sure that people, whatever cent and nickel that is given is properly accounted for. That's one of the key things from time to time. Our community in our country has been a problem. Honesty, people are dishonest, and so people, we don't know who to trust nowadays. But we have to, that cannot make us to relent. And so this is why we're going to have an open book on this. We're going to be posting the amount that is given. and I will make sure that this amount will work with the student leadership, well coordinated, and every student, be it nickel or dime, they will be able to, at least they will reach the entire to do a little thing while national government is working on modality, and that's what we intend to do moving forward.
Okay. All right, Mr. So, thank you very much. We appreciate your effort, and please continue to do this because, like I said, you know, it's not like you have any kinds of interior motives. You just like to do these kinds of stuff for people, and those of us that know you were not quite surprised. But I want to thank you very much for your effort, and whatever we can do here as well to support your effort, we will do so. But thanks very much, and we'll let us continue to bring the issue up to light so that our brothers and sisters will see reason to see, even if the government is willing to help.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And again, my profound thanks and appreciation to the Ballers Room CEO, Mr. Prince Double, who I believe is watching, Mr. Alexander Yala, President Timon Collins, and the entire staff out of their own to free will to make their services available as well to serve as a backup side to support our initiative. This is the kind of collaboration that we want to see happening in our community. If one Liberian is being hurt, it should be our concern that we should rally around the people. What's about the future leaders of our country? This is our concern. We'll do everything possible we can to get answers and that the students will be careful. Thank you so much, Samson, for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. So. Well, folks, there you have it. That's Mr. So, Mr. Francis Nso, who is the CEO of LPR. He has taken upon himself to make this thing go a little bit viral than normal stuff. So let us all rally around. These are our brothers and sisters. But before I go on to any other thing, let me just read something here for you quickly. One of the mothers of the kids, this is what she said. She said this: I make US $150 monthly, and just as I tie my stomach, also he said, and that's not her real name. One of the things she stated here too is that she's afraid to use her real name because then people going to start using politics and even try to get her out of a job. She stated that, and so for that reason they're using different name, folks. And this is the time we have. And once again, give me a call. The number is up there. Let's hear what you have to say. I'm sure that Mr. So, once he's ready, he got a number up that people can call. It's already up here on the platform. Anybody can call and try to make contribution to that number. Let me just read the number: 682-433-8802. And then you can reach Mr. So. And I'm sure you don't just call and say, yeah, my money, and that's it. No, there are some question. He most likely going to be asking you question, even though you're donating, but he's going to ask question because these things nowadays, you're doing these things, you don't just do it out of in a vacuum. The federal government is watching and not only that, God is watching. So if you're going to take anybody money, first of all, you want to make sure the person is giving the money based on what the discussion is about. And I'm sure Mr. So will ask question, do you understand why you're contributing? And those are the kinds of questions that people need to ask. Do you understand why you're doing this? And this is the reason. This is where your money going to go. And these are the kinds of procedures that are in place that will facilitate these children getting this money. All of those information will be passed on to you. I'm sure, Mr. So, you didn't have to work with him before, so I'm not that concerned. I'm not that concerned at all when it comes to credibility and transparency. You can take that to the bank. But anyway, folks, give me a call, 916-533-2048. And these are some of the things that we'll continue to pray about. Because, like I said, we cannot continue to slide down the hill. And one of the interesting thing here, some of the kids, in fact, one of them, I think he's like, 16, 17 years old, but he came top of the wire exam. And in fact, that's why Dr. Weir was so encouraged to give him a scholarship. But now I think I'm not too sure if Dr. Weah is quite aware of this debacle here. I'm not too sure if this type of information has reached the president's desk to say. I don't think so. In fact, I will put my foot in my mouth here this evening to say I don't think Dr. Weah is aware that these children has not been getting their stipend, whatever it is that's supposed to go to them. I don't think so, because I don't see Dr. Weah, the man who has adopted children from other country just so that they don't suffer, and the man who has used to come to Monrovia and make children happy. Now, as president, for you to say he aware of the situation, just said that. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think now that he most likely, if he's aware, now he will push the ball, and this thing gonna be resolved before the end of next week. This situation is gonna be resolved. If Dr. Weah have heard this, I think the situation, and he will now, because it's on Facebook, and most of his people, they're Facebook user, and so I'm sure this kinds of information will most likely get. In fact, it's also on Front Page Africa, and I'm sure this thing will get back to Dr. Weah, and he'll say, no, I didn't send children over there in Morocco to suffer. What are you doing? What's going on? And once he start asking those kind of questions, things will get resolved, and you will soon find out. You say, oh, something say so. Okay, so let's continue to pray. Let's continue to pray, folks. I'm not going to be at long tonight. It's Wednesday. As you notice, I came up, but I got one subject matter here tonight, which is the young people in Morocco issues. And I will all we can do is pray that these young people continue to survive, because to go to school in a foreign land is not easy. It's not easy. I don't care whether you're taking small class, it ain't easy. You hungry, how you study? It's not easy. It's not easy. Because you're thinking, well, okay, when I get home right now, what am I going to eat? And most of these kids now, they're not used to farine and hard time biscuit. They're not used to those things there. And you can't blame them. You can't blame them out of setting, just put them in a situation where they can now try to introduce farine and hard time biscuit to them. Then you're not being serious, folks. Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Paparito, it's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. Let me just do this here a little bit. Music as usual. Let's listen in.
Kadama TV, enana, monyoka bora kanama. Kadama TV, enana, sono sere kanama. Pale kekiri kuna, inana, bora waki kanama. Baye jibo basogo, sakati ko bora monyo basogo.
Speaking about education, folks, let me toot my own horn here a little bit. Speaking about education, and I'm not bluffing, but I'm just being very real here. Speaking about education, like I said, I did a project here recently, and in engineering, even at the higher levels, they always want you to prove that what you have done can withstand time, and that you can prove. Every time from start to finish, you always have to prove every little aspect of your engineering design. You have to prove how you get it and what is the reasoning. How is it that if you put it in the can, anybody come and pick it up and start from there? Will it still work? You have to have those things. So, I do a lot of design here. That's what I do, design roadway. And so I did mine, and I told you guys last time we went to the meeting, and I have to defend it. But I was late getting in. Because at first, when I heard all of these ladies, all of the ladies are going to be questioning me. I'm from Totem. What woman will question me for? You able? I told her, I said, no woman going to question. Going back to Totem, man. What woman will question me for? Woman in Totem have questioned me before. And I thought to myself, you go back, you're not gonna get paid. And if you can't get paid, you can't feed your family. So how you do it? You better go answer the women question. So I say, let me put myself back to Maria said to him, forget two times. I ran there. No, I was late. Running late. So when I got in, I will play the audio here someday. But one of the things that I've always done to myself, and I really, now that I'm a little bit older than I'm 25 years old, I don't do those things anymore. But one of the things that I do and I really enjoy doing, and I advise people to do something like that, is, for example, you get on a new job, and there's tools. Specific in our engineering business, there are tools that you use to do your work. Roadway, you have roadway design tools, software that are used to design your work. You put the numbers in, but you have to know what you're doing. But anyway, the point is, whenever I get into a situation, a job or anything, I want to be the best. When I put it they must say, where you come from? I tell them I'm from Town. I don't care whether white male or black male, I tell them I'm from Town. They want to know how Town is. And so when I did this work, so I had to go defend it. And when I got there, but I knew exactly what I did. I didn't cut corners. I didn't cut no safety or anything like that. So I have to defend it, and I was explaining. But the engineering, especially roadway engineering, it's like an act. You know, anybody can do the same thing. Of course, you derive at the same situation. Mostly the concern is safety, all the ways. So I had to stand in and defend it. And I started speaking English. When the English started getting hard at one point, and you were here on the video. I was trying to tell the lady about putting some K-rail in, and she what you say? So I said, I'm not K-rail, now put that K-rail and then one K-rail. What do you say? What do you say? I not K-rail. They don't K-rail on them wing. So my guy from Congo, he said, what are you saying? I said, I'm speaking Crown. Samson, true story. You were here on the audio. What, are you kidding me? I'm trying to explain to you. And then you over there. What do you say when you speaking Siri? I speak heavy total language to you. If you can't understand it, too bad. True story, folks. I just thought I'd throw in there. I'm still working there. These are things we do from time to time. What so what? But anyway, the point here is education. Education is very important, folks. Because when you're educated, not that I am, I'm not talking about myself, but look at, I want to call name right now. One young man, he has all these master's degrees. Now he getting PhD. In a few months, he will get PhD. And I asked him, are you going to share it with me? And he said, oh, what are you asking me that kind of question for? And yeah, you pushing Jefferson Coach to go to school. Then when I go to school, then you come and ask him, I'll share with you. I'll close my mouth straight. And those are some of the reasons why we're pushing people like almost Jefferson Coach, because for me, he's like a little brother. He's young, very young, and as young as he is, and as caring as he is, and as much as he wants to be involved in helping people. What would be the best way to do it? Educate yourself. I don't even have to go far place. Go to Front Page Africa. Amara Kone has been exonerated by the EU banking or whatever it is. People were accusing him of something. Education. If the man was not anything, he know anything, they were going to exonerate him. No, they will say, yeah, that's true, because he know nothing. But because he's highly educated, he can maneuver his way out of anything. That's education. You go and ask some of these professors in some of these universities. You go in their I call it offices, and you see all of these books, and you think, say the person, what he know? Wow, no wonder why. You pick up a book to read sometimes, and just think about the person that wrote that. What was the train of thought of that person as they were writing? Education, very interesting and very good. It's hard, it's frustrating sometimes. I give you my last story, then I will leave. So Samson told at the end of his senior year, he has the elective. You know, the engineering school, you go there, they tell you, say, okay, yeah, you do the one, they much classes, yeah, you will finish. But they expect you to do some elective, to pick up some classes that are not quite anything to do with any engineering, but you got to pick them anyway. So my last year, I decided I wanted to pick two elective. One was shooting. In fact, three. One was shooting. The other one was swimming because I was playing football, serious football, folks. But I broke my knee, ACL. So I went to doctor to put some muscle. I got 4 screws in my knee as we speak. But anyway, so that year I was doing swimming because I wanted to get my knee back together. So I was doing shooting also. Just one credit, no big deal. But then the other class, folks, this class, and I got all the books here for that class. I will never forget it. It's a psych class, psychology class. And each year you see around here with psych degree. Don't think that they're the best. The children with psych degree, they're better than PhD. Even they get master, they even get master, they're better than PhD. They're better than engineer, they're better than medical doctor. These people are smart. These children with psych degree, oh, don't play with them. So anyway, I decided I saw the one psych introduction to logic, they call it. I know they say introduction, but in math, they got logic as well. So I've done that, and I look at it, I say, oh, I'm fitting with the math, logic, the other logic, but I just want something to get out of here. I'm tired with your school, you understand? I want out of here. So I decided I want to take it. I took this class, honor estimating. That's one of the things. These are things that when you're educated, you tend to analyze before you jump into things, because you do not want to underestimate anything. You want to make sure whatever it is that you have the ability to handle it. But if you're not educated, those are things you don't even think about. So I got into it. It's a introduction to logic. I opened the first 2 pages. In this book, in introduction to logic, they have something where they say all cat and dog. All cat are not dog. If then if, something like that. Those weird stuff. President. Where you say because you're football players, so you're a football player, a good soccer player. So anytime that somebody talking about soccer, oh yeah, I know about soccer. I used to. You try to use Dr. Weird name to advance your argument that you know about soccer. All of those kinds of arguments, different type of arguments. Very interesting book, but I didn't go in there as ready to learn. I went in there with the expectation of doing math. And since I've already finished all my math classes, everything, all I needed was just finish my whatever class I needed and finish out, I thought I could just bulldoze this class. Far from it, folks. Far from it. And then again, the fact that I've always had this in me. I don't want to do, and even as right now, my father and mom, they're not alive, but I don't want to bring disgrace to their name. So when I took this class, the first time we went to class, the professor went on the board, and it was about argument. How do you argue with somebody? Logic, bringing in ideas that would defeat the other person's idea before they even realize. And these young kids, they come to class with their sneakers nose open. They got the long chain hanging. You see them, you say, but they made them a street man. What are you doing in my class? Don't try to even bring an idea to try to argue with them. You can't make it. Logically, you cannot make it. So the children, the professor, they will go at it, And I'm sitting down there and I said, but wait a minute. Then where's the math? They keep bringing color, how color will speak. And then when you're speaking to somebody, if you're engaging somebody in terms of intellectual conversation, you want to make sure you listen to what the person's saying and try to find a hole in the person's argument. And you take those holes and turn it around. There's certain way of doing it. And not only that, they have the other stuff they call Venn diagram, where they circle here, they circle here. Which of these English language combined together will give you one particular point. Interesting class. I wish I had that class from the starting of my engineering business. But this was at the end. I have no time for the foolishness, I call it. Folks, and then Samson told the first quiz. They said all dogs are not cat. I said, what kind of stupid thing is? Oh, what do you mean all dogs? I know all dogs are not cat, but there was certain language they were looking for in there. I forget it. I said, yeah. Then they said, I need to get that book. Do I have it here? No, I don't. And I'm going to read it to you. When you read the sentences out of that book, I will bring it up here one day and read it and see if you make sense out of it. I'm from Toad Town. You asking me these kind of question. What a stupid question is that? Me is either blue or a white or a black. Nothing else in between. But in this logic, they say, yes, here's the blue. Here's white. Here is red. Where at the intersection point that if you put them together, what color you gonna get? That type of incitement to incite your knowledge, to incite you to come up with ideas. Folks, the first quiz, 0. What kind of business is this? Me, 0? What kind of nonsense is that? Do I look at somebody can make 0? Okay, let's see. I wonder, I started studying. But as I started reading these things, the math notation, the equal, the plus, the subtraction, and all of the math notation, they're not actually meant for mathematicians. Folks, you know, sometimes you go through a lot. Sometimes you go through a lot. You learn. That's why when I talk to my sons, I laugh. I look at you, I laugh. You think you know? I know these things you're trying to do. So I look at it. So, but at the end, they will tell you how they therefore. You know those 3 dots. Why you use therefore, and at what point you use those 3 dots, and what point do you use the plus sign if you're writing? What are the area that those things have to be applied? I started reading it, but then I thought to myself, what the heck is this? I put myself in. Second quiz, 0. I said no, because I have to in the engineering class you have to maintain certain grade average. Other than that, you're not going to graduate. And we were having some sort of a competition between, I think, about 6 or 7 of us, having a competition to want to wear that yellow nonsense, then you know those yellow ribbon and all kind of ribbon, blue. I don't care anymore. I don't even know what my own. Forget it. I don't care. I know I finished. But anyway, and I felt within myself. I felt this much, folks. I went home one night and I told my wife, this is not good. She said, then why don't you just forget this semester, plan yourself and finish up next semester? I said, no. Because the first thing that came out, I said, why if my mom hear that kind of thing that sounds to drop her? That would be shame. I'm not going to drop. So what's the best thing that I have to do? The next day, I went, after my shooting and swimming classes, I went to the professor. I said, professor, he said, yeah. I said, I'm an engineer student. He said, I know. I said, I'm not a psych student. He said, I know. I was just waiting because sooner or later you're going to come to me because I look at your stuff here and the way your line of reasoning doesn't help you at all. You know, one of the way the professor really felt bad for me. They have this one sentence, and the sentence for me when I read it, it's like you're doing an area under the curve. You know, in integration, when you're doing area under the curve, the dy, dx, but you know what I'm talking about. When you're doing the area under the curve, how you do the dy, and that's exactly how I try to approach this. And I actually put some numbers on there. And the professor looked at me. He looked at me. He said, "You're killing me. As if this is not about math." I said, "But what all these other?" He said, "That's what it is, but they're not about math." So I said, "Okay, I need your help. I can't flunk. I need to graduate. And if I don't graduate, I'm not coming back here. I'm tired with this school. I want to leave. I got kids to feed." So he said, "Okay, this is what I can do for you." He said, "Go and have you written term paper before?" I said, "Yes, several times." He said, "Okay, why don't you go and write me a term paper that have to do with whatever thing, the new programs you guys have in your engineering program right now that are on top of the line. You know, write about it and come and tell me. You don't have to give me just come and read it to me." So I said, "Okay." I went back and I decided to do finite element on him. Samson too. Finite element is not something small either. You know, it's when you take these nodes and put them together and you stretch you stretch the element to the nth degree. But in the process, when you're stretching, there should be color. How the colors comes about through calculation. If you do finite element, you will see there are a bunch of them, but they have a reasoning into those numbers that you put into the nodes, because you don't just put number here and there. The numbers have to add up in order for your platform or for your metal to balance. Other than that, it's gonna crack. So I had to go into there and explain all of those things. So I took my paper. He looked at it. He said, "Okay, now read it for me." So I read it. What's about 2 pages something? I read it, and I put some diagram on it because I was doing CAD, AutoCAD at the same time. So I was able to, I can do the diagram. So I put a diagram with all the nodes and stuff like that. And in fact, what I used for him, and I think that's really helped me out, was I used determinants in math. The guy what they call determinant. Okay, I'm not going to go into it, but I used determinant to find out what these nodes, how they're going to come out. Okay. And in determining when you go X, I forget it. I'm not going to go through that. By the way, I used that, and I was able to point it out to him how these nodes. How do I know what exactly the result of certain nodes going to be, and which of the nodes going to be stronger than the other? And because of that, I need to put weight on that area that is stronger. Folks, wow, Samson told you still remember all those things all these years, my man? Yeah. Come here, you from Total for real. My man, school said, "You want to play with it? Oh, you want to play with it? Don't play. No, man, y'all help those children, man, my man. I beg you." So anyway, I was able to convince this man. He said, "Okay, I'll get you C." I said, "I'll take it." I took the C and ran out of there. Folks, it's called Introduction to Logic. You don't run into that. That's the serious. But some of these kids, some of these young kids, the homework and stuff like that. Blah, 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 blah. But when you see them, sometimes they don't know that they did not take by in 4 weeks. But their brain is not something to play with. So I thought that I'd throw that in there, folks. That education is not something to take very lightly. It's very serious. It's a very serious business. But when you finish, you can enjoy it. So at the end, when I graduated, okay, my mom and dad were here at the time, and that was one of the sweetest part of all. Even though my kids were there, my wife was there, but my mom and father were there from Town, there in Youngstown. When I finished, I rolled out the paper and gave it to my father. That moment was something that I will never forget. Even though he didn't understand what it was, but I felt that I have delivered. Whatever degree that I do next, that one is for myself. But this one was for both of them. I've delivered. My mother used to sell beer, Heineken beer case. You know, she go and collect beers in Monrovia, empty Heineken beer and wash them and put them in the cases and take them across the bridge and go sell them. And use that money to buy me Oreo's uniform for me to go to GW Gissing. But who said I'm going to GW Gissing? I go to school in the afternoon, I'm going to Roxy Cinema. You think I care for? But when she asked me Yeah, it's a tough one. But when she asked me to help to wash the bottle, I would say no. I don't want my friend then to catch me washing bottle, dirty bottle. They would say that something to that dirty man. Then she will wash the bottle. Then we'll put them on the wheelbarrow. I will help her to carry from in the barracks. You got the barracks, you got that big gate, the gate right there by the market. Okay, we'll come from the barracks and take it to the gate. Then she will take taxi, fill the taxi up with the cartoons and go across the bridge. Sometimes she had two taxis fathering each other, go across the bridge. When she come back, she got the money. I want uniform. I want Oreo. I want nothing else. Why would I want to wear some kind of sneakers? I'm an Oreo man. But when she said, come do the work. So when I graduated, it was just God that helped me. I'm not going to say God helped me with the war and they brought them here. No. But God helped me for them to be here. So when I graduated, when I give them that paper, the fact they have suffered for me, even though a lot of things they did for me that I wasn't paying attention, but it gave me satisfaction. That's what education will do for you. And there are a lot of people in this country that wish when they graduated, wish their mom and dad would have been here. Because that's how you pay back. And for me, when I did that, and it didn't just end there. There's a gentleman that just died recently. They call him Emmanuel Tay, died in Minnesota. So at that time, he was living in Akron. So he hosted a party for me, for my graduation, where friends from Cleveland all over gathered at his house. And what Emmanuel told me that night was very interesting. He said, I was there today. I saw you giving your paper to your mom and dad. We all appreciate that. Whatever you do, whether you go for masters or not, it's up to you now. This from now on, everything you do is on your own. You're doing it for yourself. But we appreciate you doing that for your mom and dad. And then my father said something. He asked it. The paper you gave me today said, what kind of paper? I mean, because Ben, he said the paper you gave me said, what kind of paper there? So he might have said that the paper, the man graduation paper. Oh, I thought they said when the people said, I thought all the time they say, oh, the person got degree, the person got. I thought that was before, those big pen people can put water in. He thought that was going to be the degree was going to fill the pen, and I was going to get. So he said after he gave all the paper, well, just waiting for you for all to see the before, follow up with a degree, but you can't bring one paper. What one paper will do? Samson, I thought I'd tell you this story, but education is something very important, folks. It's very important. So do whatever you can. Let's make sure these brothers and sisters get that education. If they're willing to struggle, let's give it. Let's give it. It's very important. Samson told LeBron Pablo, I want to thank all of you again tonight and say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. We have a good time. We will continue with this process. Even if we don't have an entire show based on this, we will continue to mention it whatever time we have. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you guys.
Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikolo mwa yepoza ne kripu ya mole o lokolo toliye bolu suku ogere yo omo ya lokolo gete so lori ti doro.
Okay, folks, this is Samson Toe. We want to thank all of you again tonight. This is the Liberian Public Radio, the platform of intellectual. You come in here and you're going to have lots and lots of stuff. Fun, games, whatever you want to think about, we have it here for you. But This is the platform where we come in to have a serious discussion. Intellectually, we engage each other. We want to thank all of you again this evening for listening. Please, this story about these young people is very, very serious. Let's take it serious because give the man the fish, or take him to fish, show him to fish, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about. Let's give these young people the opportunity to learn. Let's give them the opportunity to fail if they want to. But please, the government should not be able to send people's children out and not be able to keep up with those kinds of obligations. For that, I think Dr. Weah and his people need to do whatever they can to make sure these children are there and safe. Good night, folks.
Onana ayama lokolo mwane sikulo mwa yepoza ne kribu ya mole u lokolo toliye bolu suku suku ogere yo omo ya lokolo kete